Oh my god, hey! Welcome back to my theatre-themed YouTube channel. We are in New York. We're literally crossing Broadway. We're in Times Square right now for the best part of a week in New York. We just got here from Toronto, Canada. We have been flying around various different parts of Canada for the last few days. If you haven't seen that, go check out my previous vlog or vlogs. Who knows how many videos that became. We went to Gander to go see Come From Away. We went to Toronto to go see Wicked. And then we came to Broadway. How exciting. It's a Sunday evening. We don't have a show booked this evening, nor will we necessarily see one. We're going to go meet our friend Ashley, who is at the Notebook right now. But before that, where are we going? Where is our first stop in New York? Come on, you know this. You've seen the vlogs. We're going to where, Aaron James?
Schmackary's.
Schmackary's. We're going to Schmackary's, our favourite cookie place, my favourite cookie place in Manhattan that also occasionally does theatre-themed cookies. We have come to a standstill on the street because people have just simply stopped moving. Anyway, as Aaron says, it is incredibly warm. I would describe the temperature at this point as a Tennessee Williams play, which is a more accurate measure than either Celsius or Fahrenheit, to be completely honest with you. Hell's Kitchen living up to its name. Yay! We are seeing all of our favourite spots. Junior's Cheesecake, Schubert Alley, all the familiar things. You're going to get a week of Broadway content here, people. We're going to see some shows, some of which I'm very excited about. Lots currently unplanned, so we don't even know how this week is going to unfold. Lots to look forward to. And we'll bring you along with us. Enjoy another Broadway vlog from Mickey Jo and Aaron. Yay. Let's start with an update on 43rd Street. This is 43rd? Every time, every single time I forget. Is this 44th? This is 44th.
44 and 45.
Yeah, so Hell's Kitchen remains successful here at the Schubert, now advertising its two Tony Award-winning performances, Malia Joy Moon, as well as Keisha for Best Supporting Actress in a Musical. But down the street it is all changing, because A Beautiful Noise, the Neil Diamond musical, has closed at the Broadhurst, and they're advertising their next tenant, a strictly limited Broadway engagement from the hills of California, which we saw twice in the West End and loved. Thrilled it is coming here, and it makes for a very good, like, thematic 70s two-show day with Stereophonic, if I may say, if anyone wants that vibe. And then over here, Job has had multiple successful sold-out off-Broadway runs and is beginning a limited run for 10 weeks at the Helen Hayes, one of my favourite little playhouses on Broadway. There you go, with Sidney Lemon and Peter Friedman. Illinois, meanwhile, continues to play out its limited summer engagement here at the St. James. Didn't get a lot of love from the Tony Awards. It won the Tony Award for Best Choreography, as it should. It's a beautiful dance piece. I really encourage you to see it, even if you don't think dance theatre is your thing. It's not mine, and it really won me over. But at the Majestic, meanwhile, the scaffolding is down because one of this year's most anticipated openings, Audra McDonald, it's left literally as soon as I pan to it, it goes. Audra McDonald will be starring in a Broadway revival of Gypsy. Are there too many Broadway revivals of Gypsy, I hear you asking? Well, actually, technically, by a very small margin, this is the longest Broadway has gone without a revival of Gypsy. And very excited to see the Audra McDonald-led version. We are eagerly anticipating further casting news. You can see more of the marquee down there. I cannot wait. That is for later this year. In fact, all of the shows I've just told you about that haven't yet opened, none of them will be on during this current visit for us. But we're probably going to be back later this year. There's no point being coy about it. Now, on that subject, you may be wondering why we're here again so soon. You know, we were here at the very end of April for 2 weeks, and everyone we've told we're coming back to New York has been like, you've already seen everything. And it's true. We're not here to see a bunch of new stuff, which has often been the reason behind, I guess, our last two visits were to try and cover. All of them really, but specifically the timing of the last one. Why we went in January was to see stuff that was going to close. Why we went in April was to see as much of this season as possible, and we basically saw everything on that trip except for like The Wiz. We were going to go in June. In fact, because we saw so much in April is why we ended up cancelling the idea of going in June. June ended up being incredibly busy for us professionally in London, which is amazing. Had a fantastic June, had a really busy June, could not have left the country, did not have time to. But at the very beginning of July, went to Canada. And, you know, Toronto, New York, it's just a little skip over. on a plane, so it kind of invited the idea of returning to New York. And as well as shows, we have a lot of friends here.
Yeah, it's a big thing for us now to see our friends.
We like the theatre community here, we like the vibes. We've never been in the summer, we are already experiencing that because my god, it's hot. But also there is one show in particular this week I was desperate to see, and so we are going to be seeing that. But outside of that, a lot of maybe like return trips to Broadway shows we already know that we love. Going back, getting some of our favourite snacks, but also doing a lot of like the summer touristy things that we never find time for, we're never here at the right time of year for, so maybe some of that as well. Here it is, it's Schmackery's Lip Schmackin' Good Cookies. You'll recognise this from previous vlogs, and summer flavours are here. I'm excited to find out what that means. I'm hoping for more show-themed cookies this time, because last time Aladdin was celebrating an anniversary and they kind of had a monopoly on the theatre-themed cookies, so I'm hoping to see a few more. In fact, again, we only have one show-themed cookie today, which is the Moulin Rouge Velvet. The menu does change and evolve, but we have a lot of other exciting things. The Horny Unicorn here. Got Rainbow Blondies down there. I might have to break with convention and have a blondie just because that looks so good. The White Island looks intriguing. The Key Lime. Strawberry Rhubarb. You're going to get lots of exciting flavours here, and you can do fun things like you can have them with soft serve, you can have them in a mason jar with like a milkshake, you can have them as an ice cream cookie sandwich. Also, fun drinks that Erin is now exploring. Well, I did indeed go for the Rainbow Blondie because it looks good. I don't know if that's something they were doing. They had a rainbowy card. I don't know if that was like a Pride Month holdover. Looks very tasty. Also very crumbly and slightly disintegrating. And in the packaging, in there is a sweet corn cookie that is one of the now multiple gluten-free flavors that Schmackery's do, that Mr. Aaron James will be enjoying. There you go. This used to be a shucked-themed sweet corn cookie, and in our hearts, it still is. It just exploded everywhere, but it's fine. It's in two pieces, but it's fine. I threw gluten in your direction. I'm very sorry. Taste test. This is all like a cookie crumb topping. It tastes like their cookies, if their cookies were a blondie. If that makes sense. It's so sweet, it's so delicious. So white chocolatey, but it tastes like cookies on the top, and it has that salty kick, which is what I enjoy about a Schmackery's. Just passing the Stereophonic stage door. We think they must have started at 2 p.m. today because it's about 5:30, and they're just letting out from their matinee now. I am wearing Stereophonic merchandise, and the cast were beginning to come out and sign. We don't have playbills because we didn't see it today, and I kind of think that that's who the stage door experience is for, is the people who saw that performance, but also would happily just stand there and tell them how much we cheered for them all at the Tonys, all the way from England, because they are rock stars. Oh, I think The Notebook is coming out as well. Let's go find Ashley at The Notebook. As we hang out here on 45th, much of the street is the same, because these are many of the bigger shows that opened right towards the end of this Broadway season. You've got Stereophonic, as we mentioned, The Outsiders, this year's Tony Award-winning Best Musical, right next to the Tony Award-winning Best New Play. This is The Notebook here that we're standing underneath at the Schoenfeld. Water for Elephants over there at the Imperial. Suffs, my beloved Suffs, winner of the Tony Award for Best Original Score and Best Book of a Musical, continues at the Music Box. But then we do have a new tenant, The Roommate, which will open later this year at the Booth, where last year's Tony Award-winning Best Musical, Kimberly Akimbo, sadly closed. During our last trip, Kimberly Akimbo played its last performance. We must have missed Ashley by seconds, because she's already left the area of the Schoenfeld Theatre. The Schoenfeld Theatre, where Come From Away played on Broadway, BT Dubs. We feel very close to Come From Away at the moment, because we just spent a few days hearing all about it, basically, and living it for ourselves in Gander. Again, you can go check out previous vlog, but Ashley is already, oh my god, that was a nice breeze from the Marriott. Oh my god. Ah, there she is! She's by Bond 45. And we're gonna go run into her arms. Don't get hit by traffic. It's Ashley Evan! Yay!
All my makeup.
Spoiler alert, we came back to Friedman's at the Edison. We discovered this back in January, and it is delicious. It is heavily gluten-free inclusive on the menu, and they have musical theatre singing waiters. We are sat at the bar, which is my favourite thing to do. I just ordered a Shirley Temple. I am loving being back in New York. This place has gotten very popular, which I love that for them. The talent is always amazing, and between performances, they play musical theatre overtures. You're hearing Gypsy right now, one of the best of all time. Getting some British flavour now with Six. Divorced. Do you know what comes next? That's right. They're headed. The song of the summer is being sung. It is My Days from the Notebook. You've heard it on TikTok. Now it's happening right here. Enjoying his favourite Friedman's dish, which is the gluten-free chicken on a waffle. How many places can you get that? Answer, not many. I've gone for the grilled chicken Swiss switch, but as long as you get anything with these fries, you're going to be fine, because these rosemary salted fries are amazing. Also, a Shirley Temple. Grenadine, lemonade, cherries, delicious. I put my plaid shirt on, and this happened. Come From Wales, following us across the continent. Did anyone order a side dish of sexual tension? That's what we're getting now with some Hadestown. Gayle's Broadway Rose continues to be so good.
It was so fun.
So fun. Better or worse than the other one?
Oh, it's so much better than Stardust.
So much better. Because you actually get Broadway.
Well, that's the thing. We also, I feel like we went at a weird time. We went on my birthday in October.
Yeah.
And I think we got one Broadway song the entire time.
But I've heard that from a lot of other people.
And I don't want that. I want Broadway.
Yeah, which they're giving you at Gayle's
And
Broadway
everyone
Rose.
is like, could be on Broadway. They all sound so good.
Yeah. Could be, have been, will be inevitably. Food good, singing good. We're now walking towards the Lena Horne Theatre to maybe get 6 tickets 15 minutes before the show. We never do that. We're always very planned.
We're just gonna see. We're just gonna
ask the question. Like, that's not illegal. That's fine. This is Six here at the Lena Horne Theatre on Broadway. And maybe we'll get tickets. We don't know. They're literally going in. The show is literally in 15 minutes. So this happened. We were just like, sure, we'll get. I think we got like, what did we? I blacked out. We get like $80 tickets. Last row of the front mezz. So here on Broadway, downstairs that's the orchestra, what we Brits would call the stalls. Up here is the mezzanine, what we would call the circle. But we have the front mezzanine, which is up to friends. And so there's a middle gangway behind us, and then that's the rear mezz up there. This is the Lena Horne Theatre. It's gorgeous.
You're gonna be right in here.
All of these chandeliers, and also Tudor roses. That's a Tudor rose up there, right in the middle of that little thing on the ceiling. In terms of actual seat number, I'm sat in D. I think I'm in 21. I think I'm in D21. The numbering system is slightly different here on Broadway, but I am the end of the circle, so if you're worried that that's a bit wide, it doesn't really matter. It's a pretty good view, and it's perfect for a show like Six, because there's not really set pieces that you're going to miss. For the most part, they're all going to stand in formation, and they're going to gravitate towards the middle of the stage. I have had much more restricted views for Six before, specifically when I saw it at the Lyric Theatre in London. So we have seen Six on Broadway before. This is like third cast. I know that Jasmine Forsberg, who we saw in Here Lies Love, is currently playing Jane Seymour. It was basically the US tour cast became this Broadway cast. Very excited. We think we have full cast, no alternates on this evening. Not that that wouldn't be just as exciting, because the alternates so talented. But yeah, hyped to see Six. I always enjoy seeing how much an American audience enjoys Six, because it's one of those shows that, like, before it came here, you know, who's to say how much like cultural significance it would have, but the fun of the show and the entertainment value transcends its history, or should we say herstory. You can also get lots of merch, lots of drinks. We bought tickets very last minute, and we own it all already, so you can check out a previous, go look at my October vlogs in New York if you want to see what Six is like on Broadway. and so unexpected for this evening, which made it even more fun. Yay! Yay for 6. Happy. We're slowly leaving now. A flying glance at the merchandise line. There's so many cute things you can buy. It's a whole time. It is so warm on the street. As like towards the end of that, I was thinking, oh, it's gonna be nice to walk out into a cool evening. No, it's still really hot.
You came during a literal heat wave.
It's dense. It's dense with heat. Also, no Mega 6 because you can't film the Mega 6 on Broadway or you'll be shot
That is true.
on site.
The Second Amendment's a big deal there.
Very big deal. Yeah, no filming of the Mega 6 on Broadway. They are hot on it. They will get you with those little torches. You can film it in the West End and basically everywhere else.
Cruise, you can film it.
Yeah.
Tour, I believe you can. I don't know if you can on tour, but
Literally everywhere else in the world is more chill about it, but that's fine. You know, you go into their house, you follow their rules. We're now walking through the Hotel Edison to go and get juniors for the perfect New York evening. I hate revolving doors so much. We are ending the night, as we so often have in the past, at one of the takeaway windows of Junior's restaurant, famous for their cheesecake, and you can see the many different kinds of cheesecake over there. I've tried, I think, all of them in my time, but this evening I'm just getting one of these famous New York black and white cookies to have for breakfast tomorrow, because I'm smart like that. Good morning.
Morning.
It is another beautiful day here in Brooklyn, New York, and I have my black and white cookie for breakfast, which I'm very excited about. Always a good decision. Last night was lovely.
Yeah.
Up there with one of my favourite, first evenings in New York, I think.
It was fun because it also just wasn't planned.
That's the thing, it's a lot of it had to do, normally if we're coming in on a flight, although it was landing at 1 p.m, so plenty of time to make an evening show, like a 7 o'clock show, but I think I would still, if we were going for dinner after, I would still be like, do we have enough time? Are we doing that? Are we doing that? And having not planned it and just rocking up and getting tickets, which you can do, which you can absolutely do, and still constituted a saving on those ticket prices, I believe. Because on Today Tix earlier in the day, there was nothing below 112 because I'd glanced at 6. So yeah, I think that was a big part of what made it so much fun, and we weren't expecting it, so it was a fun surprise. Gayle's Broadway Rose, always a vibe. We may go again this trip, but now
Didn't have the cookie plate.
we did. That's exactly what I was going to say. We didn't have the cookie plate. I would be open to going again just to get the cookie plate. Slow zoom on Aaron James. You're so cute. Today we are going to go see an off-Broadway show called the Sided Tavern, which is live choose your own adventure Dungeons and Dragons inspired entertainment, which secretly I'm a big fan of. I've played a lot of D&D in my time, and if you haven't, as theatre people, I encourage you to seek it out, because it's very theatre adjacent. It's basically just like an improv exercise with winners. So that's this evening. I think we're just going to chill and do a little bit of work this morning, early afternoon. The Edinburgh Fringe is looming, and I have to start emailing some people and sorting my life out, because there's always a next thing. And then this afternoon, I don't know, maybe today is the day for a Highline walk.
Maybe.
Because 20-sided Tavern is lower down. We will find out. So far, every single time I have stepped out of Ashley's building, I have recoiled at the dense heat I have stepped into. I'm not normally this much of a baby about the weather and the temperature. I'm not normally... Okay, if I was on a beach holiday and I was dressed for it...
If we walk down a street and there's a tiny bit of wind...
Okay, no. The wind, no. Okay. I said about the temperature. The wind, I am a baby about. And I just squeal. But yeah, it's because New York, Manhattan and Brooklyn are not conducive to this heat. And it's just city heat is kind of gross. It's kind of gross. But we're in and out of theatres this week that are lovely and air conditioned. The subway is air conditioned. That is a joy. I've never so much enjoyed stepping onto the subway. When we were still in Toronto, I walked over a grate and heat rose up and circled all around me, and I let out some sort of a guttural grunt. It was one of the most unpleasant things that's happened to me all year. We're on our way to go get lunch somewhere, because I've been rearranging my Edinburgh Fringe show schedule for the 25th time, and my brain is scrambled. So Gonna eat some food and try not to think about it. Okay, let it be known that 5th Avenue Park Slope has many fantastic eateries that we will be visiting this week. But for now, we've decided neither of us are really hungry enough. So instead, Jesus. I think they're getting the point. I'm getting the point. Oh, now they're yelling. Dunkin' Donuts called, and it's the same size as my head. It's huge. It's huge. Aaron discovered, don't know what happened there. Aaron discovered Dunkin' Donuts on a trip to go see Hercules at Paper Mill Playhouse. And it was the one in Milburn, New Jersey, because you can't eat many of the donuts, but you can drink the beverages. Yeah. I've gone for, this is a mango and pineapple refresher with lemonade. And my goodness, am I going to need to pee after this? Just all day. All day. Aaron's got some omelette bites. Ham and cheddar. And what is your beverage?
Bitter pecan ice latte with marshmallow foam.
With marshmallow foam. It smells very nice, even though I resent the taste of coffee. Welcome to Seeing Brooklyn with Ogie, your host. We are heading into the city, repeating one of our favourite combination tasks. What are we doing? Where are we going, Aaron James?
The High Line at Chelsea Market.
Yeah, we're going to go to Chelsea Market, get some food, and then walk up the High Line, which we have done on many a previous New York vlog. You've seen it before, you're about to see it again. Get ready for more of that same content. We're waiting for the W. I have to say, after multiple New York trips, have you begun to at all learn the lines with anything close to the understanding you have for them in London?
Oh no, nothing like the ones in London.
Not even a little bit?
No.
I know what goes from this station because this is where we stay, but then it also seems to change day to day, so I have no idea. Oh, it's coming. Starlight Express. This is not the Starlight Express. And sometimes the train goes out of service while you're on the train, and 3 other trains went past us while we were sitting on it.
Yeah.
So sad. It's fine. We will eventually get to Chelsea Market. I don't know what I'm going to eat. I've had the currywurst there before. That was nice. You must take the A train. Name that musical, Aaron James.
In the Heights.
It is. It is. This is part of a new series where I go on the subway and test people on random musical theatre lyrics. Good job. 10 points. After a challenging subway journey, we made it. Opposite the Google building, we are back here at Chelsea Market, which is this converted building, used to be a factory, and now has a bunch of different food places. So Aaron and I can grab some different foodstuffs before walking up the High Line, which is also right here. One of the great things about Chelsea Market is we've got all these different eateries and you can grab different things. Aaron's getting Mexican down there. I'm getting a jerk chicken burrito wrap from this Jamaican place, Big Tings. Black seed bagel is normally over there. That's what we got last time we came here. And our bagels got stolen, non-maliciously. We think it was an accident. Bar Suzette over there. Donuttery over here. Lots to choose from. Don't know about you, Aaron James, but mine was a taste sensation.
That was really good.
Yeah. We have some tortilla chip walk-me-downs and a peach iced tea. I've never had jerk chicken in a burrito wrap before. My God, that tasted good. We're going to walk up the High Line now, which is an old, converted, disused, above-ground railway line that used to run through the meatpacking district, I believe. I'm trying to remember things we were told on one of those city cruise boats before. I believe that was the case, and now it's this raised garden walkway that allows you to walk up a little fraction of the west side of Manhattan. It's above us right now.
Yep, this is it.
Aaron knows. I don't know why I'm bothering. I should just be the pedestrian version of a passenger princess and be walked to my destination. So it's about 6 p.m. here. We're walking up the High Line from Chelsea up towards Hudson Yards. And it's surprisingly quiet. We've been here before when it's super busy and it goes from being a faster way to walk uptown without having to stop at all of the crossroads at every junction in the grid system, the likes of which you can see over there. People stopped at traffic lights because of the, traffic. So yeah, when this is busy it goes from being a time saver to a slightly frustrating delay. And perhaps I've spoken too soon, but it seems, even though it's gorgeous weather and still above 30 degrees Celsius, which I think is like 90 Fahrenheit or late 80s Fahrenheit. I don't really know how Fahrenheit works. I'm surprised. Lots of people coming the other way, but no one's going uptown. Is it because not many Broadway shows and off-Broadway shows do Monday nights? And right ahead of us, the jewel of the Highline skyline, that is the Edge up there, that little platform jutting out of the tower to the left, is a viewing platform that Aaron and I have enjoyed before. I say enjoyed, Aaron's face will tell you. He's not the biggest fan of heights, but he did very well. They have one of those glass floor bits where you can stand on it and see all the way down to the ground. We did that back in October. I'm about to tell you what I tell you every time, that this is the shed. Was there a building here last? This seems different. Was there something else? I remember this differently. Something's happened here. Anyway, we're at Hudson Yards. You may recognize this iconic structure, which I believe it's been closed to the public, sadly, for a while. I believe they are. It's in the process of considering reopening. This is the shed here, which does have a performance space, and it's where we saw the last ever musical featuring an original Stephen Sondheim score. Here we are, again back in October. So we've chosen to do the Highline today because we are heading up to a 7 p.m. performance at Stage 42, which is an off-Broadway theatre on 42nd Street.
Yeah.
It's where Kinky Boots played when that came back off-Broadway for a little bit, but the show we're going to see is called the 20-Sided Tavern, which is like an interactive, choose-your-own-adventure, D&D inspired theatrical experience.
But it also, like, and isn't it like Dungeons and Dragons 20-Sided Tavern?
I think it's official. Yeah, they use.
It's definitely officially.
Yeah, I say D&D inspired. It's literally 20-sided, hence like a D20, a 20-sided dice. For those of you who don't know Dungeons and Dragons, like Aaron and like our friends who have seen this show and really enjoyed this show despite not knowing like the basis of the game, it is a role-playing, often fantasy game where it involves you rolling different dice and building a character and role-playing and using that character's skill sets and traits and attributes and abilities and weapons in order to achieve goals and complete quests, etc. And you try not to die. I have played a lot of D&D in my time. I'm a big D&D fan. I used to listen to a D&D podcast called Not Another D&D Podcast. And so I have a lot of D&D knowledge going into this. I've built many a character. And Aaron does not.
Nope.
Aaron has the benefit of the brief D&D overview that I have just given him. I think my favorite.
I mean, I know as much from Onwards, the film, and my dad loves D&D, so
Yeah. Onwards doesn't use the mechanic, but it does use a lot of the lore. D&D generally is a great mixture of being able to like test the boundaries of it and like push against the rules of the game and like use your imagination and do whatever you want to and have all of that freedom, but at the same time being completely tethered to the results of the dice. So you can be really clever and like do all these things, but if you roll a low number on the dice, then you do a terrible job at whatever it is you're trying to do. Now we're here at 42nd Street and 10th Avenue, and I believe it's been pointed out to me before that this building here is the one where Alicia Keys grew up and where her semi-autobiographical musical Hell's Kitchen is partly set. About this building in which many artists and musicians lived because of rent control to allow them to do so.
No,
It's not?
it's these ones.
Oh, it's these ones?
The square ones. But
Is it these ones? Okay, it's not this one or this one. It's that one. There you go. We knew it was nearby. What I was about to say is more theatres should have the number street that they're on in Manhattan in their name, because barely even had to think to find Stage 42, which we're heading towards now. A lot of off-Broadway theatres on this street, actually. We've just passed the Signature Theatre, Theatre 555. I'm pretty sure it's further down that way, and also where we saw Teeth. Yeah.
Playwrights Horizons.
Playwrights Horizons, that was it. Playwrights Horizons. And Theatre Row. And hilariously, as I announced how easy it was to find, we walked straight past it. But here it is. I love this signage, makes it very easy to spot, even if you try and go the wrong way. This is Dungeons & Dragons, the 20-sided tavern at stage 42. There's a very exciting lobby area. There's a map behind me. There's crests on banners. Aaron's gone to the bathroom. This is the map here. We've got the Sea of Swords and then a whole landmass situation. Do I need to study these details? Because I will. I am in it to win it. Ashley says this is not the kind of show that you can really win, but I'm deeply competitive like that. Should I be studying these crests? Maybe we'll get tested on the order the colours were in later. I think I should be taking notes on everything. Also, I think this is like, I mean, we've got the wooden beams and a rocky wall in between. I've decided this is like a good photo wall spot, or it's just a cute way of making it look a little bit more medieval, basically, but it's perfectly functional photo wall. Past that foyer, you go up an escalator to this upper level, and I am in love, and her name is Theming. My goodness. Got cute little details behind the bar. They do have signature drinks. We'll go and check those out in just a moment. But everywhere you look in here, cute details, giving it medieval Dungeons and Dragons-y vibe. This is one of the coolest photo opportunities I've ever seen. You can sit on the bench, you can hold the D20. You've got one of these bad boys with its mouth full of dice. You've got water fountains for hydration, but then also all of these cute little theming details. Another bar over on the left, and also merge point. We'll go check that out in just a second as well. Are these like riddles, puzzles? Are these spells? I think these are spells. Oh my gosh, how exciting. Here at the bar you can get custom stage 42 cups, and here are the signature drinks. You can get a sweeping strike, which is vodka, orange juice and cranberry, a lightning lure, which is gin and vermouth, or a dimension door, whiskey and ginger beer. And just next to that bar we also have a merchandise booth. I will show you the prices there for the tees, the hoodies, the magnets, the pins, the dice set. Oh my gosh, you can get a dice set. And the mug. So here you can see the New York City 20-sided tavern magnet. We can see multiple enamel pins. Those are amazing. I love them so much. That's the bag that the dice set is in, and the dice are red. How cute. That is the mug there. And you can also see the t-shirt, but it's the hoodie. I'm going to show you this one here because not only does it have the little logo, it's got the dice, the different dice all down the side. We've got a D12, got a D20, got a D4, got a D6. Oh my gosh. I am in love with all of this, and this area also very cutely themed as well. Okay, we're in our seats and lots has just happened. This is our view. We are in F101 and 102. I love this set. That is Diego from the show, who is bringing around pencils and a little piece of paper so we can write a noun or adjective. That one is mine. Where is it? There it is. I thought it was funny. There you go. Thank you so much. This is Aaron's. Ooh. We of course have our playbills. There you go. That is the playbill, our view of the stage. You can scan a QR code inside the playbill to play along and help make decisions. We've just done Mad Libs. We've got dice, gobos over the walls. I'm a little overstimulated, but I am incredibly excited. Okay, so here on the cast page, that is the QR code you have to scan to play along. Aaron and I might not end up on the same team. Mine is not being particularly fast, so we'll see what's happening. You also get a sticker in the playbill and information telling us that for this performance, the Tavern Keeper will be played by Alex Stompoli or Stompoli.
Sided Tavern. It's time to leave the mundane world behind and enter a magical realm that really puts the fun into Dungeons and Dragons.
This is a land full of fantastically named creatures such as flumps, gibbering mouthers, and double bacon cheese ogres.
That's right! The fourth wall has been shattered, and the fate of the story rests squarely in your hands. What is your name, my friend? Yuri? Thank you, Yuri. And the fate of the story rests squarely in Yuri's hands!
Yes! You are going to give me your best spellcasting pose. Ready? 1, 2, 3! I didn't ask you to make the meow. Incredible. Little Ethel fixed that. Ready? Here comes the stab. And. Hey, nurse is taking me over.
Devices at the ready. The riddle is this.
2 bodies joined in one. The longer I stand, the faster I run.
Can you enter the correct answer and open the nearest container? It is your choice.
I will read that aloud one more time. 2 bodies joined in one. The longer I stand, the faster I run.
That's a trivia question for the mages. I'm a mage.
In the real world, not in the Forgotten Realms, in which country is the world's largest temple? Cambodia?
Not geography.
Egypt? India? Sri Lanka? Ooh, I do happen to have some off-brand wooden blocks on the corner for just such.
Oh, yes, let us play a game that we all know and love but have not technically acquired the legal rights to. Let us play Block Fall Down.
All right, make some noise!
This is already chaos.
Well done, Annabelle.
You got it, Emily, you got it.
Oh, hands! All right, just under 30 seconds left. Cheer for them!
I'm having the best time. This is like but it's the intersection of multiple things that I love that I never thought about happening simultaneously that I'm finding very exciting. I love D&D. I love theatre.
I feel like to say a show that's kind of similar in a way, think like Showstoppers,
Yeah.
where it's basically improv comedy, but the audience is helping give elements to.
They're basically doing a D&D campaign on stage, which is inherently theatrical anyway, and just works to do live, which is how so many D&D podcasts happened. But the audience participation aspect of it is genius, and the more portrayed aspect of it with costuming and characterization is also genius, and then just finding ways to just heighten it unexpectedly. It's so much fun, and so many nat 20s have been rolled. Wild.
Crashed through a swarm of enchanted dancing beetles. No, the dancing beetles bit you. You start to dance as their venom courses through your veins, infecting your muscles and forcing you to dance like nobody's watching.
I'd like to dedicate this shot to all you beautiful people! Yeah! I can see new colors!
Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts, unsex me here and fill me from the ground to the toe, topple of direst cruelty! And as I do, you take 8 points of bludgeoning damage, followed by 18 points of lightning damage, for a total of 26 points of Shakespeare fuck you damage!
Now, what will tomorrow's adventurers see when they set foot in a land of your creation? Will they triumph in combat or learn through their mistakes? Will they gain new allies or acquire harsh enemies? Will the world and its peoples be saved by your efforts, or will it at last crumble into everlasting chaos? That, of course, is a story for another day.
Aaron's gonna roll the D20 on the stage. Hey! That's respectable. A respectable roll. That was a magical fantasy experience. Choose your own adventure and choose our own adventure.
We did.
We did. My goodness. How was your first experience? I mean, that's pretty much what D&D is, honestly. Like, I thought they were just kind of like riffing on it and building on it. No, they are playing D&D on stage, but they've theatricalized it in a very clever, very sophisticated way. So your first thoughts of your first D&D experience?
It was a lot of fun. It was wild. Yeah.
It's all just very like character driven with fun gameplay mechanics, and carrying on through the second act an insane amount of natural 20s rolls. Like,
Yeah, you were telling me how like it's such a rare thing, and then it
is.
happened 5 times.
and someone with advantage rolling a nat 20 and a nat 1 is wild. So yeah, that was statistically fascinating. But then afterwards, what's even more cool for us as massive theatre nerds is we got to go on the stage and see the intricacy of that amazing set and all the little trinkets and all the stuff that they would pull out for other performances that we didn't get to see, because there's so many, there's thousands of different permutations and combinations of what that show could go into. We also got to see behind the desk and the technological wonder that is how they run that show, and it's all technologically improvised on the fly, and all the different effects cues and the lighting cues and the graphics cues, and how they maintain hit points, and how the script is created using a program that goes through, again, thousands of different permutations and combinations. Fascinating and brilliant, and I'm obsessed, and I would go back many, many times, because you're going to get a different show every single time, and it's just so much fun. My goodness, for people who love D&D, for people who have no idea what D&D is, if you're theatre people, I'm telling you, you're going to love it. We're walking past the Ambassador Theatre, where Jinx Monsoon, who is currently returning to Chicago for the summer in the role of Matron Mama Morton, is greeting beloved fans. There she is, we saw Jinx do it our first night in New York. Now the geographically minded among you may be like, Mickey Jo, you have walked several streets up from where you were. Where are you going? And the answer is behind me. It's Junior's restaurant. It's the other Junior's, because Aaron is going to go and get his customary, and if you've seen our vlogs, you will know all about this, giant Reese's peanut butter cup from the Hershey store, and this Junior's is closer to the Hershey store, so I'm going to go get my first piece of Junior's cheesecake for this trip. Here are all of the options. I think I've tried all of them before. I'm going to go for a raspberry swirl, or do I want a cherry? No, Aaron, go for cherry. Cherry cheesecake. Cherry cheesecake. I changed my mind, to quote Leo Bloom from the producers. And then the evening brings us to the Hershey store, just off of Times Square, where Aaron James has returned to get his usual giant Reese's peanut butter cup, served in a chocolate shell. Are you a happy boy, Aaron James?
Yeah.
Tell us what mix-ins you got.
I got marshmallow, chopped peanut butter cups, chopped peanuts, and Reese's Pieces, and then peanut butter drizzle and marshmallow fluff.
Is that your usual, or have you mixed it up on this occasion?
My usual.
Don't mess with perfection. And also, my favourite thing about it, show them the bag. Great size for playbills.
It is a really good bag.
Afterwards, when you come back with a stack of playbills, we still have playbills living in one of those bags.
Because it's really
on our
strong
shelf.
and like a nice square base.
Yeah, and it's the right shape and the right size. So, can recommend. Oh my god, hey.
Hi.
Good morning. Happy Broadway Tuesday. It is just after 8 a.m, like 20 past. We are walking over to 45th Street to go and rush a Broadway show. Now I say 45th Street, not a specific theatre, because we have options. We got choice. The shows we've decided we would like to see again on this trip, because we've basically seen everything and we are for the most part rewatching stuff. Suffs, which we loved.
Yes.
Water for Elephants, which we were both very charmed by and would very happily see again. And The Notebook, which again, both really enjoyed. They're the three most rewatchable shows, I think, for us right now on Broadway. Not the only ones, but just the ones we're prioritising, and they're all on 45th Street. Now, Suffs, I think, is the priority because of something exciting that's happening later this week. I would like to see it today. Also, Joy Woods was out of The Notebook over the weekend, and she is a big draw for us. Although we heard the cover, who our friend Ashley saw, was fantastic. As all understudies are. They do a fantastic job. I also think, I'm going to bet right here, right now, Notebook has the longest line of the three, then Suffs, then Water for Elephants. And that none of them have anywhere near the line of The Outsiders.
Yeah, The Outsiders is very, 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 very popular.
We've been hearing reports of people showing up from 3 a.m, and when I say reports, I mean reports that are Broadway rush reports from our good friend, Brian the Business Analyst, who, when he is working in Manhattan, walks around the theatre district, counting the number of people in line for rush tickets at most, but not all, Broadway theatres, and talks about it on TikTok and Instagram. But we are heading up to 45th. Oh, we're on 45th. Where hopefully not too many people in line for stuff. So we're also pre 9 a.m, which feels like a good time. Anyway, Last time I did this, I caught the playbill vans doing the playbill deliveries, and it's happened again. They're delivering at the Lion King right now. I'll show you as we walk past. Playbills. Look at all those playbills. It's the playbill van. I literally followed it around last time.
Aww.
I see people, but I think they're waiting for a coach. Because they're not queuing at the theatre. Oh, they're at the Marriott Marquis. They're rushing the Marriott Marquis Hotel. Maybe if you show up at the Marriott Marquis Hotel check-in desk before 10 a.m, you get a preferential on the day rate. I see no one at Suffs. Oh my god.
I see no one.
Oh my god.
We'll be first
Listen,
in line.
it's a Tuesday. We always try and rush on a Wednesday because 2 show day, but maybe everyone else is doing the same thing.
Yeah, because I've got 2 chances.
Maybe everyone else knows that Suffs is not doing rush today. Notebook has 2. Water for Elephants has 2. Are we rope dropping Suffs? I don't know which door to queue at, because we never start this. I guess just here? I guess here is the spot? I've never been first in line for a Broadway rush before. Wow! I also lied. Those 2 people weren't in line for the Notebook, because that was the roommate, which is not open yet, and they were just hanging out. There is no one at the Notebook on this very warm Tuesday morning.
There's a queue.
There is a queue at the Outsiders.
But I don't know where that ends and Stereophonic starts.
Stereophonic, in my experience, queues the other way. So I think there could also be no one at Stereophonic. Maybe? Listen, it's still early. It's pre-8:30. Aaron is holding down the fort over there at the music box, holding our spot in the line that currently consists of one handsome man, Aaron James, because I'm going to go... I'm looking for water, and I should have brought a refillable water bottle with me. I am so bad. We have so many of them, and we never travel with them. I am so bad at forgetting. It's because I'm always like, oh, I don't have that much space and weight allowance, and no, hydration is important, especially in this heat. I woke up dizzy yesterday, I woke up really dizzy today. I was feeling wobbly, I'm feeling fine now. No one panic for me. By the time you're watching this, I'll be fine. Tuesday, that opens at 2 p.m. I was going to say, I want to buy a merchandise refillable water bottle, because I don't want to just keep buying plastic water bottles, because that's not good. But I want to see what time the merchandise stores open. So One Schubert Alley is one of them, Theatre Circle is the other. I don't want to go all the way down to Theatre Circle now while Aaron is waiting for, or is it just on this street? Or maybe it's just on this street. I'll WhatsApp him and explain. Oh, hold on. I'm going to show you multiple things here. First of all, this Aladdin poster that changes depending on your angle to it. It is not a digital screen that is like holographic, but also this Moulin Rouge artwork. How cute is that? I mean, the answer there is that they don't have a big name star in it at the moment, so they have no one to promote, but I just think that's gorgeous. Anyway, looking for a refillable water bottle to stay hydrated, because we're going to stay in the city today. No matinees today, it's a Tuesday. 2 people in line for Hell's Kitchen. There you go. It's early. None of these lines are really that big yet. And I can do 2 hours in a rush line. I think I could do 8 a.m. onwards. I don't think I could stand or hang out in a rush line for more than 2 hours. I think that would feel a little bit overwhelming. Anyway, I'm going to put the camera down and text Aaron to let him know where I've gone and why I'm taking a little bit longer. And hopefully hydrate. Hydrate, people, hydrate. They're doing the Get Out for a Beautiful Noise or the Get In for the Hills of California here at the Broadhurst. Never visited the Broadhurst because never felt so inclined to go see A Beautiful Noise, the Neil Diamond musical. Will we be back for the Hills of California? Saw it twice in the West End. Same principal cast coming to Broadway, so it's going to be largely the same show, but I love it so much. I think I would just enjoy getting to experience it with a Broadway audience, and I think I want to know what that is like. I want to be there celebrating it. I actually think, maybe I said this to you the other day, I've been saying it to everyone, a stereophonic Hills of California 2-show day would be insane, because they're both very long, very emotionally intense plays, but they're both set in the 70s, so like you could wear flares, go vintage shopping, do a fun outfit, and just see an incredible day of dramatic theatre. The young and good-looking are at the gates. I return to Aaron James, holding the fort. Hold down the fort, John. Name that musical? Name that musical. The answer is John and Jen. It's Aaron James. My man's gone to get his coffee from Dunkin' Donuts, as he tends to do when we are doing rush lines. It's a nice little Aaron James ritual. Someone just came to say hello and tell me that they're a subscriber and said welcome to New York, which is always very lovely, and said good luck, I'm sure you'll get it, meaning rush tickets. Or they were referencing a chorus line. Who knows? But I do feel quite confident being the first in line on this Tuesday. We nearly got tickets last night. Todaytix is doing this new feature called Drops, where I don't know if they're resale tickets, but like select seats in advance going on sale at discounted rates. And there was a pair for tonight's performance in the mezzanine, but a little far back in the mezzanine for $40 each. And that's a great deal. And we so nearly went for it. We were like, for that same price point, are the rush seats better? And they might be worse. So, you know, a risk has been taken, but we will find out, and we will get, I guess, the cream of the crop of the rush seats available first thing in the morning. They're at box office discretion, so they may not have any to offer. Hopefully they do, and hopefully they're pretty good seats. But I'm excited just to see the show again. We had great seats to see it the last time. I don't mind having different, slightly not as great seats this time, but we will find out come 10 a.m. It's our turn now, it's our time now. The playbill van has arrived at the Music Box Theatre to deliver the playbills for tonight's performance. Well, not for tonight's performance necessarily, but delivering a top-up of playbills for Suffs. How exciting! We are seeing how the sausage gets made, people. There are currently 6 people in the Suffs line, and broadly, kind of a new party has joined once every 10 minutes. It is now 9:20, so still pretty quiet. I mean, none of these lines are crazy. Stereophonic is definitely a bit quieter than it's been. Water for Elephant's kind of the same size as ours, I think. I can't see the notebook because the playbill van is in the way. Doing important work. Outsiders remains wild, but not like, it's not huge, it's not vast. I got tickets, yay! And they're not front row, and they're not restricted view. They are D9 and D11, which I think is probably the very end of the left-hand side of row D, which is fine, because it's far enough back that we'll be that little bit wider to the stage. And we both discussed it, and we said we would rather proximity than like a full overview, because we've seen the show before, we know what happens, we know what the staging is, but we want to be close to those performances because that's why we're going back. So we have tickets for 7 p.m. for Suffs, yay! Maybe my favourite musical on Broadway right now, I think. I love this show, I am so excited to be seeing it tonight. Oh, I'm all giddy. Now, Aaron James has jumped on a work call, and if he told me where he was going to take it in the final moments before I walked into the box office, I was so focused that I did not retain that information. So I don't know where he is right now, but I'm going to walk in sort of a 1 block radius. I think he went this way. In my head he went this way, but I was really I was in the zone. And nothing else was entering the zone. Did he walk up through one of the breezeways? Where is he going to get good signal? He's not gone to Drama Bookshop. That's miles away. We're gonna figure this out. It's all good. Nobody panic. I spot him beneath the whiz marketing. We've come into FAO Schwartz, the toy store, which was a mistake because they have a lot of Donald Duck things. If you don't know, I love Donald Duck very, very much. They also have one of those cute giant pianos, like from the movie and subsequent stage musical adaptation, Big. Look at all of these Wizard of Oz pop vinyls. Look at that. Friends of Dorothy and Winged Monkey. It's Chistery in another life. Bring Ragtime back to Broadway and sell these at the merch counter, and then sell these, they've got faces too, sell these at Dear England. I've never seen this before. So I've never actually seen the Tom Hanks film Big. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
There you go.
Not for years and years though.
So apparently that scene does take place in FAO Schwartz, but not this FAO Schwartz. So this one is just off of Rockefeller, and every time we've come here, Aaron's been like, can we go in? And I've been like, no, because I'm mean like that, and I'm both glad and saddened that we did, because there's many cute things and we want to spend a lot of money on all of them, and we'll come back when we have bigger bags later this week, and we probably will spend that money. Oh, I'm going to put this in bin. But yes, so I think the one in Big is one that used to be on 5th Avenue. A brief Google search has led me to that information. Perhaps I'm telling lies. Who knows? We're gonna head over. Oh, they're cute. They've got little like beanbag toss games happening out here. Where are we going next, Aaron James?
The zoo.
The zoo. We're gonna do the zoo. Aaron and I love a zoo. And last time,
Well, we like zoos as long as they do conservation methods.
we do, yes. That's a very good point and a very sensible addendum. Last time we walked through Central Park Zoo and we were like, we should do the zoo one of these trips. And I don't think we ended up having time, but today we got time. So we're gonna go hit the zoo. Heading up from the southeast corner, they're busking some jazz. Families are here, the sprinklers are on, and I want them to shoot me in the face. We made it to the zoo. We just got our little printed off tickets at the self-service kiosk. Same price as online, as far as I could tell, unless there are discounts on like other parts of the internet, but it may surprise you to learn. The Central Park Zoo is only like $20 admission for adults. I think in part because it is a smaller zoo.
Yeah.
But we're gonna go in, have some zoo time. These are some big ass birds. Look at the, oh, is that a sloth?
Where?
No, it's a bird. It's a bird. I thought it was a sloth. It's a blue bird. This is the blue bird I was telling you about. Looks like the villain from one of the Kung Fu Panda films. We got parrots too, if you want some parrots. Check out these parrots. Look at these little guys. They're very sweet. If anyone has seen the stage adaptation of The Ocean at the End of the Lane, you will understand why birds with these types of beaks are now deeply terrifying to me. Now what you're seeing here is a pile of banded mongooses. Monkeys? Mongooses? I don't know. I have a lot of time for this one. Who's just chilling. I can't find the Solomon-Isles prehensile-tailed skink. I'm looking for the prehensile-tailed skink. Does anyone have eyes on the skink? This apparently is called a Gila monster. I personally think he's just misunderstood. So we've been saying all day it's very unusual because we're going indoors and you feel a breeze when the doors open because they have air conditioning in New York and in the US. So you go inside to get cooler and then it's warm when you go outside, except for the tropical house.
Yeah.
My God, was it warm. You can see the sweat in my hair. My God, was it warm in the tropical house. But now we feel cooler stepping back outside. Snow monkeys. Here we see a swan and some little turtles. On our first trip to New York, we spotted turtles swimming wild in Central Park, which was kind of crazy. There's loads of them here. Be very, very quiet. I have spotted, right in the middle of the frame right now, a sleepy snow monkey. Look at this. It's a bear having a shower. I feel like we're intruding. Neither Aaron or I are sure if we've ever seen a bear before. Look at that bear. It's huge. Here is a harbour seal rolling over. Is it going to go for a swim? I too have made this motion. I relate to this seal. On a warm day, there's really nothing like a waterfall massage. This is the sea lion pool. We stood over behind that wall over there last time we were in New York and we watched them surprising people by jumping up to the edge. So, do I want to stand right up against the edge of the thing? Not necessarily, because they're going to make me jump. Because they're playful like that, and I feel like they could splash me if they wanted to. Oh, here's one. Oh. That's a lot of tail. Kind of just looks like a big dog.
Yeah, like a big beaver.
Yeah. Well, we have just been enjoying a proverbial ballet of bears circulating between... Oh, penguins and seabirds. This is the bit we haven't done yet. I knew there was something we'd forgotten. Penguins and seabirds. So many penguins. Penguins swimming around. Penguins hanging out. This one's huge. That's a massive penguin. So we've basically done 2 laps of the Central Park Zoo at this point. Time check, Aaron James.
1:53.
1:53. So about 2 hours. There you go. And basically showed you everything. I don't know how much I've edited into this. Bless you. Bless you. It's probably a 2-hour tops zoo, but I don't know if you've got little kids who are going to sort of stare profoundly in wonderment. We hung out for a long time when we went back to the bears, when we went back to the snow leopards. I sat with the penguins for a while. We were a really long time at the sea lions in the middle, but there's a finite number of enclosures, so it's not an all-day situation. We are just investigating the Dancing Crane Cafe to see if there's anything we want to eat and if they have air conditioning. Passing our new friends, the sea lions, one last time on our way out of the zoo to head up the east side of Central Park to go and check out some lunch spots and bakeries to buy food for right now and also stock up on some of our favourite New York sweet treats. If you don't necessarily have time for the zoo but you still want to see some sea lions and poke your head in, you can see their area from this path here that just goes through the zoo. You don't have to buy a ticket. You can also see this iconic zoo clock, which is referenced, I believe, in the film Madagascar. Dr. Dillamond, I love your work. We're trying to get to a sandwich shop. We were just on Lexington and 76th, which means the song that Will Chase sings in Smash is about 25 blocks in that direction. If you know, you know. We have arrived at Lenwich, which we discovered accidentally walking back from Central Park after our meetup on our very first ever New York trip, and we now go back to it every single time. We usually go to the one down by the Nederlander in the theatre district, but now we are up on the east side. We are now heading to 3 different bakeries. We're heading up to Modern Bread and Bagel, which has a bunch of different locations in the city and is entirely gluten-free.
We've never been.
We've never been. The one time we walked past it, there was a queue outside, but it was recommended again to us by a producer named Tim from the West End, who is gluten-free, and it's one of his favourite places in New York.
Honestly, we just ate savoury, so we're not going to get a bagel on us.
We've just eaten, and Aaron specifically wants the black and white cookies from William Greenberg that were very kindly gifted to us by someone who came to our first ever meetup in New York, and we have finally figured out where they came from, so now we go back to go get them for Aaron on our trips recently. So might not get anything from Modern Bread and Bagel today, but I figure at least should poke our heads in.
Yeah.
Unless there's a massive queue out the door, in which case maybe we won't. The other place we're going is Levain, because Levain, I don't know. Bakery, they have the big, like the tall cookies that just look like an amazing pile of cookie, that again were a gift on our first meetup, and I had 2 and I loved them and I would like some more. Thank you so much. The bad news is Modern Bread and Bagel is on the sunny side of the street, which ordinarily denotes something being good, but right now means it's hell. The shade is much nicer. The good news is Aaron was very taken with the offerings at Modern Bread and Bagel and is going to try 2 things.
Yeah. Do you know what? We walked in and then I totally forgot that it was totally gluten-free. So I was looking at the signs being like, oh, I can't tell what I can eat and what I can't eat because they said contains and they had different things.
You can eat all of it!
And I suddenly was like, wait, it's because nothing has wheat in it. So then I was like, oh, okay.
It's very rare that Aaron gets to have that experience.
Yeah, I suddenly was overcome a bit with the idea of I can just eat anything.
Here are the many desserts of William Greenberg Desserts. These are the not only black and white cookies, but multicoloured. More cookies, and then loads of gluten-free stuff, individually packaged over here. So we were heading down, back towards Midtown, and then we turned back on ourselves towards the Delacorte, because we knew that there are public toilets here, in the hope that there would also be water fountains, because we passed one that didn't work. So, water fountains needed, because we are, oh, a breeze. We are struggling. Friends, we bring you the troubling news that they may be destroying my favourite restroom in Central Park, and the only one I'm really aware of in Central Park.
Other ones.
Have we?
Yeah, by the carousel.
Oh yeah. But this one was then my favourite of those two. Yeah, you can't get through here. We've just passed a sign about Shakespeare in the Parks, relocated from the Delacourt, which we're just coming up to now, which is a big open-air theatre in Central Park. Oh yeah, restroom closed. Go figure. Does this say where the nearest ones are? It's pointing us to the Ramble Shed. We just came from the Ramble Shed. We found a water fountain. Woohoo! Which solved the water problem and exacerbated the needing to pee problem, but that's okay. That's going to be resolved. We're going to use the allegedly public restrooms at Tavern on the Green, which is a iconic, famous, fancy restaurant towards the southwest corner of Central Park. Nearly said Regent's Park then. We're not in London. And despite the fact we're not in London, and we don't live here, I have been giving out directions today like nobody's business. And really it is nobody's business, because I'm A, bad at geography in the first instance, and B, not a New York resident. But for some reason I seem trustworthy enough. Two people have come up to me and asked me, first of all, where the Friends Fountain is, the answer to which is the one you're looking for is not the Friends Fountain, it's Bethesda. And so we pointed them towards Bethesda. The Friends Fountain was on a lot in Los Angeles and never really existed, but anyway. And the second person wanted to find Shake Shack in the middle of Regent's Park. There's one over there, which is where we sent them. But clearly, I'm very approachable today. Am I dressed like New Yorkie? Is this crocheted shirt giving Manhattan? I don't know. Lempicka, gone, but not forgotten. So you can see that's the notebook queue across the street, because there's nothing at the booth at the moment, and the reason they're having to queue this side is because the other side, that queue, is already for the Outsiders at the Jacobs and then Stereophonics at the Golden, so there is not a lot of space to accommodate all of these people, and I don't think they've actually opened the music box yet. We're all bidding the same. Because they don't tend to open these Broadway houses a particularly long time before the show. Most of them certainly not before half hour. Oh, they're just opening now. There you go. It is trying to rain right now in Manhattan after an incredibly warm day. Part of me is very much considering just standing on the sidewalk and running around in it like I am Joy Woods in The Notebook, because I think that would be very refreshing. We have made it inside the Music Box Theatre, where, as a reminder, at the back of the orchestra there are stairs down to this downstairs lounge area, including but not limited to this photo opportunity here. I like that they have a photo op board. I wish it was lit better, but that's just my thing. We also have this fantastic merchandise desk that when I was last here had a hugely long line, so grab it while you can. You can also scan a QR code as you enter the theatre to order merch that you can collect as you leave. We have a poster, we have a little, those triangular banner things. Someone told me last time, I forget what they're called. We have badges, we have postcards, we have an adorable little baby grow thing there that says the young are at the gates. We have a child size Younger at the Gates t-shirt, we have a pullover, we have a tote bag, we have more t-shirt designs that say Great American Bitch, Keep Marching. We have just the Suffs logo tee that I just bought. We have a Suffs hoodie that says Now is the Next Time on the back. We also have some more little trinkets here. We've got Suffs pencils, a notebook, a pin badge, multiple enamel pin badges, a magnet, this little teacup and saucer there, the button badges, another of these little banner situations there. For some relevant books, we have the music of the show's now Tony Award-winning writer Shana Taub, who just won the Tony Award for Best Original Score and Best Book of a Musical, and we have this cashmere hand-embroidered Keep Marching jumper. It is $400. It does look gorgeous. I wish I could justify the $400 purchase, but it's like properly sourced labor. It's a lot of good things going into it. I only recently noticed this, but a little water fountain thing with little disposable cups over here, as well as, of course, bathrooms as well. Not many bathrooms per theatre on Broadway. My advice is to go before the show, much easier than trying to go during intermission, or you will lose your entire intermission queuing unless you're on an aisle and you can get there first. Either side of the stairs to go back up to the auditorium, we also have information about voter registration with a QR code. And to my mind, political musicals and political theatre completely pointless if it's not actively engaging with the current political sphere, particularly during an election year, particularly when one of the show's producers happens to be Hillary Clinton. So, voter information here, very important. And finally, to many people, arguably just as important, there is a bar area over here. They do have Suffs themed cups. They didn't the last time we were here, so we will be getting one of the two specialty cocktails. They have the Fire and Tea, which is whiskey, ginger beer, and red wine, or Giggle Juice. That's Kettle One Peach, and Orange Blossom, that's vodka, Prosecco, and cranberry juice. And there is me. Hello, everybody. Now we've come upstairs. I'll remind you to listen to the ushers when they tell you which aisle. It will save you time. We went through aisle 1, and we are sat in D9 and 11, and this is our view of the stage. My head is pretty much the height of the stage, and so I think this is pretty unrestricted, honestly, and gives us what we wanted, which is amazing proximity to the show. We are very, very close to this stage, seeing it from the other side to the side we saw it on last time. We've got our playbills here. Your playbills are free for everyone attending the performance. Make sure you get your playbills from the ushers as they show you to your seats. Occasionally, if there are understudies on, there will be a slip. For this show, they have just printed a cast list for this performance. We do have a couple of understudies. So the role of Woodrow Wilson, usually played by Grace McLean, will be played by J.G. Macapuge, who we saw in Here Lies Love, so that's quite exciting for us. J.G.'s normal role, Molly Hay, is played by Kirsten Scott at this performance. Mary Church Terrell, being played by Gayle Unique Whitley, is the other cover for this performance. But otherwise, I'm seeing Hannah Cruz, I'm seeing Nikki M. James, I'm seeing Emily Skinner, Shayna Taub, Tony Award-winning writer and star of the show Shayna Taub, Ali Bonino, Jen Kalila, all the familiar names for this performance. Very, very excited. Intermission thoughts, Aaron James. Loving it, having a great time.
Yeah.
Enjoying other people's reactions.
Yeah.
And getting to, because the first time I was just like...
We were so like, just in it, just because we'd never seen it before.
And this show in particular, it kept surprising me, and I was so like, just reacting to it and enjoying it. And this time sort of knowing what's coming and being able to...
see other people react to it and how the audience vibes for it.
Yeah, is very exciting. Cover's doing a great job.
Yeah.
Cover's doing a great job.
JG's very fun.
JG's very fun. Everyone's doing a great job. Yeah. It remains as thrilling and urgent and exciting and entertaining and charming as it was the first time around, and thrilled to be here. And these are great seats. Yeah. I don't think we've missed anything functionally.
No, not missed anything.
No. So yeah, there you go. If you are booking, I feel like more moments favour that side than this side, but it's pretty negligible.
Yeah.
I do like to show you these Broadway auditoria because they are beautiful. Nice purple curtain there. Fittingly sort of presidential seeming. Sort of the architecture and the design here reminded me very much of the White House, etc. Very Americana. We have some chandeliers, just 2 levels in this theatre. We have an orchestra with 2 middle aisles and a mezzanine section up there. You can see a little feed of the conductor for this evening's performance. And very shortly, the intermission will be ending. I took our Suffs cup downstairs and filled it with water. That's a hack. I mean, I don't know if I meant to do that from the water fountain, but hydrating is important. But in the meantime, the second act of Suffs. So after that amazing performance, we went to the stage door. I hung out at the stage door. I got a program signed by all of the cast members who were signing up to that performance. Security at the stage doors on Broadway are great because they will let you know who is coming out, and they will tell you at the end when that's everybody. If you're patient and respectful and all those good things, then you will have a positive experience. Just be complimentary of the actors, all the obvious stuff, but I had the wonderful experience of being next to 4 young girls who had all seen the show and was so excited about it and so enthusiastic about it, and especially for that show, that was really great. That was very rewarding, and I got to tell Jen Colella that we were just in Gander and pass on a lovely message from Michael Rubinoff, the producer of Come From Away, so that was very nice. And now we have come downtown to Marie's Crisis, which is the famous musical theatre sing-along piano bar with no filming inside. So I will see you afterwards, or maybe tomorrow. I have no idea. Bye-bye. Oh my god, hey!
Hello.
Good morning. It is a new day. Had a lovely time at Marie's Crisis. Highlight sing-along moment of the evening for you, Aaron James. There was some good ones. Les Mis was good, and it included, I mean, One Day More is always a vibe, but it included
the Stars movement was hilarious.
Franca, the amazing pianist, Franca, her Jersey Boys-esque 60s bebop version of Stars with like learned audience shout-outs from the regulars that we clearly need to go back more so that we learn, but always good vibes. Like, you feel very much a part of the authentic theatre community at Marie's Crisis. Always a good time. Dare I say an essential part of a theatre trip to New York for the particularly stagey musical theatre lovers. But we have now headed into the city. We are downtown in the financial district because today we're seeing cats. We're seeing cats. We just had some lovely bagels from
so good.
Bagel World.
I think so.
Bagels are expensive.
I don't understand though why people love them so much.
Yeah.
Because like UK bagels would not. Like, and even like though I think we've gained a lot of bagel places recently in the UK, not with gluten-free options. But
tell them.
But you don't get like I think when you go in you see that fridge with all the counters with all the like prepped toppings, and then it's also fresh.
A UK bagel, for the most part, is just a suggestion of a sandwich.
And really dry. Yeah, you don't get much. They're very really thin.
Yeah.
Like,
and they are
impressive.
Expensive here, but it's thick. Like the layers of, I had honey turkey, the layers of meat you get, the multiple layers of cheese.
It's a perfect amount of
food. The veg is so fresh. It's great. You get like a million, very overwhelming amount of choice actually. Because it's like, do you want to do a bagel? Do you want to do a panini? Do you want to do a sandwich? Do you want to do a wrap? And all of them had like 50 different options and choices and all the sauces and what type of cheese you want. Anyway, had a lovely lunch. Have come into the city to the Perelman Art Centre.
Perelman.
I've been saying Perelman, but there's an E after the R. Perelman. The pack. We're going to call it the PAC to see cats. If you don't know, this is Angela Weber's Cats, reconceived as Cats the Jellicle Ball, infused with queer underground ballroom culture, which I am thrilled about and have been fascinated by since it got announced, and we're seeing it this afternoon. So the art centre is here. You can see it there just behind the trees, the PAC, as we're calling it, and this next to it, what it's next to, is the One World Trade Center, and its design now is inspired by the idea of the two towers coming together, which is why it has those triangular points going up and down, because it now has 8 sides, like 2 4-sided buildings sort of married together. But this is a very striking, very somber memorial, the scale of which is really quite impactful if you're seeing it in person. We haven't made it here on our previous visits, and I'm very glad to be here now, especially because, you know, we were just seeing Come From Away, we just spent time in Gander, and that show really honours both communities, and I think important for us to feel the weight of it here as well. This is the memorial for the South Tower, which I'm just going to show you again. We hadn't realised that this is actually how they are supposed to be. The other one is just being cleaned at the moment. So there is a water element as well, which also serves to make it very striking. But again, it's the scale of these as you stand around them, as you stand next to them, that hits you quite hard. And just this sort of, this missing part of the New York skyline. Around the exterior of both of these monuments are the names of the lives lost during the attacks, denoted by the different sort of elements of that. And on Flight 77 here at the top we have the pilot Charles Burlingham, who is of course mentioned in the show Come From Away. Heading over to the Perelman Performing Arts Centre then, meanwhile, should we call it PPAC? PPAC. There's two P's. There's two P's at the start. And this is the building. Very modern architecture. Doesn't look much like a theatre from the outside. Let's go find out what it looks like on the inside. Over here by the box office desks, once you go through the revolving doors inside, we have a little photo wall. It's slightly translucent. Again, the lighting is strange. But we like that they're doing some version of it, as modelled here by the very stylish and handsome Aaron James. Give us a cat meow. Got a little merchandise kiosk here. I'll show you the prices. There you go. We have t-shirts, caps, umbrellas, fans, and totes. The cap says Cats the JELLICLE Ball and has the details about where it was performed. We've got cat t-shirts that have that little, that's from the show poster that you can see there on the front. Little thing on the sleeve as well, Cats the JELLICLE Ball on the back. There you go. I'll see if I can show you more of that fan. It says Jellicle Cats come out tonight, as you should. And then we have this umbrella, which has cat ears. Now the auditorium access is actually on a higher level, so you're going to take a lift from the lobby, and it's this interior building inside, so you can see the edges of that outer building that I showed you. But we can see from the corner here that it's all sort of a contained square within inside, reminding me of theatre spaces like the Leicester Curve, which does the same thing, only rounder, hence Curve. Also the Royal Exchange in Manchester, I guess, to a slightly different extent, but it's like a square Leicester Curve, basically. Follow signs for door numbers. Those should be on your tickets, and they will help you get you where you need to go. So this is the auditorium. This is the Perelman Performing Arts Centre. We're on the lower balcony level. It feels like an adaptive space. We've got cabaret table seating, if I can zoom in down at the front there to show you. The set is this whole runway situation. It's long and thin. Various different places you can sit. This is my fantastic view and lovely legroom, I will say, from P224 or 225. Aaron's in one, I'm in the other. We have our playbills. Even off-Broadway, you still get complimentary, I mean they're not official playbills, I shouldn't say playbills, but complimentary program in any case. I kind of wish it had the show's artwork rather than the venue, but you know, it's a new venue and they're doing what they can to get their brand out there, hence programming like this that is eye-catching and gets people talking. We were saying this auditorium reminds us a little bit of the Bridge in London, also a little bit of what venues like here at Outernet have been doing recently, these sort of more adaptive spaces that allow for different configurations and immersive possibilities. But I am deeply intrigued, so excited to see Cats in just a few minutes' time. That entrance for Andre de Shields
is like deserved, so deserved, and so well like the hype. This show does such a good job in like hyping the audience through.
Yeah,
like
this
they
is a
know how
party.
to build an audience up.
This is a party. It actually feels like a party.
Yeah.
I would come back several times.
Yeah.
Several times. Thoroughly intrigued by like what they were allowed to change and what sort of has to be retained, because more change to the material. I had been led to believe the material was sort of exactly the same, but they were just doing a very different staging, but there's changes.
I think it's the interludes that have mainly been changed, like additions rather than subtractions.
Yeah, but there are also moments of like fun
new arrangements.
Musical arrangements. Anyway, we're going to enjoy the second act. Cats, everybody. Cats. Old Deuteronomy. Wow, my only reaction. I unironically enjoy Cats. Cats, one of the first musicals that I was really raised on. My God, it's hot in this heat. Good Lord. Cats, one of the first shows that really introduced me to musical theatre. I did Cats in a community theatre 24-hour production last year. The vlog of which is here on my channel and you can watch, but I love Cats anyway, so I enjoyed just the music and like, oh, this bit's happening, and like just listening to the JELLICLE Ball. But then I also, like, you know, I'm not a purist. and I was like, am I gonna just wish this was regular Cats? And I didn't. I loved it. It was so clever. I am willing to say, and I'm not reviewing it now, a review video will be forthcoming, I will do a full one, but I am willing to say I can scarcely think of a revival that's like a big concept revival like this that's done a different approach to the show, that has paid such demonstrable, careful attention to its material. There were so many references. To the point, as we were going out, they had these posters that you noticed, that like advertising the JELLICLE Ball, and it was the venue for them was the Russell Hotel, and it's all like they looked at every single lyric in that, and it's not material with a tremendous amount of nuance and depth, but to say how much they mined from that material, fascinating, and a great time. And I will also add that scarcely have I seen such an excited, young, enthusiastic, energetic, responsive and diverse audience at a show, and for that to have been Cats is also wild, absolutely wild. Had a great time. Go see Cats if it's still running while you're seeing this, but in the meantime we are going to head back to the world we know, which is Midtown Manhattan, because this evening we're seeing Hadestown. I don't think I've told you that yet, but we are seeing Hadestown. There are new cast members joining the show tomorrow, and we are seeing the final performance before they do, which is slightly dubious planning on our part, but we get to see some exciting covers who are taking care of those roles before the new principals join, which is always exciting. And you know, it's Hadestown. You particularly love Hadestown.
Yeah.
I have really come to love Hadestown, and so I think we're both very excited. Post-matinee, we have come to one of our favourite news spots, which is Hold Fast. We have frozen cocktails, we have pork tacos, it is cool in here, cool people hang out here, really everything you need. You can find it on 46th Street. Good vibes and good food were had at Hold Fast. They also have an outdoor seating area, which we have frequented many a time before. You were saying how hilarious it is.
Yeah, so last time we were here on our last trip, we put the heater on because it was too cold because we were sitting out there on the evenings.
Which was like almost exactly 2 calendar months ago, like about approximately like 60 to 70 days ago.
Hold Fast remembered us and was like, you were here a couple of months ago. We were like, yes.
Yeah.
We were like, that's weird, it was only not that long ago.
Yeah, but they've swapped out the outdoor heaters for outdoor fans because the weather has changed
So humid.
so much. That woman walked all the way into me, but it's fine. This is a nice breeze. You've got to take them where you can get them. The Cats fan is proving
I also
helpful,
didn't realise that this is called Restaurant Row.
which makes sense because there are
Commonly.
a lot of restaurants. The most theatrical of which is probably Joe Allen's.
Yeah.
Darren tried to kill me as we were walking down 46th Street. I went over your... What was your foot doing there?
Exactly. You were like, I'm going to veer to the right and trip Aaron.
You're behind me. It was demonstrably single file.
And also you missed the guy that said love your channel as you walked past.
Oh.
He literally went, he didn't say it very loud because I think he knew you were filming, but he just went, love your channel. And the guy with the ginger hair.
Oh.
The guy with the short hair that was like standing with the 2 other guys, he like said it.
Well, that's nice. I think I want a juniors. Our pursuits of larger desserts and also theatre merchandise, because we might hit up One Schubert Alley because we haven't been yet on this trip, and it is a necessity. Bring us back to the busiest theatre street in the world, aka 45th Street, where I assume these are 7 p.m. curtains lining up to go in because it's coming up to 6:30 right now. So it's a Wednesday, 7 p.m. curtains on a Wednesday. I'm trying to learn it, get it into my head. Inevitably I will forget, so ultimately there's no point. We're walking past the Notebook. Fun news for you, we've been entering lotteries for the day, for the slots that we had free, where Cats was already booked before we got here. Hadestown we booked in advance. Suffs we rushed, as you saw, but we have been entering lotteries, and I saw someone waving that time. That time I caught it. We've been entering lottery. What if they weren't waving at me? I didn't think about that. Now I'm concerned. Did I embarrass myself? We've been entering lotteries, and today in the intermission of Catch the JELLICLE Ball, I found out that I won the lottery for the Notebook. So we have tickets for the Notebook in row B of the mezzanine tomorrow night, which means don't have to wake up early tomorrow to be in a rush line, which is always good. Now we're going to go merch shopping in 1 Schubert Alley. Aaron wanted to come in here to try and find the Great Gatsby pin because they were sold out when we were here back in April, but what he hasn't seen yet is that they have a bunch of Pride pins. He's going to lose his mind. We got merch for a bunch of shows in here. We've got Hadestown, which we're seeing this evening. Still some Shucks jumpers for those of you, or sweatshirts I should say. Still some Beetlejuice stuff, which is definitely not on Broadway. We've got some Back to the Future, got some Six, got some a little bit of Moulin Rouge tote bag going on there, Illinois, a whole handful of different Broadway shows. The line for Hell's Kitchen is forming behind me, and one of the 2 Junior's takeaway windows. Junior's restaurant is this thing behind me. You can actually sit in and get entire meals and drinks, and also the world famous cheesecake, but they also sell, among other things, boxed slices of the world famous cheesecake at the takeaway windows. One of them is here, one of them is around the corner. I feel like that's what I want. I don't all the way know. I just want something cleansing, kind of ice creamy. Oh, hello. Show the people what you got.
So I got Hadestown Pride pin, and then, so this is interesting how they've done it.
Mystery pin.
It's the Gatsby pin. And the Gatsby pin completely sold out when we were here on our last trip, as you all know.
It kind of looks like
but it's hidden. So I was like, I hope it's the one that I think it is, because it was really
Gatsby
cute.
pin. Should we do an unboxing and find out?
It was this one with a little star.
Oh, it's cute because you got the little glasses.
Star. That was what was different about it. I
With the
remember
little,
being cute.
with the green light. There you go.
This is 1 Schubert Alley exclusive, man.
You can only get this at 1 Schubert Alley. You can't get this at the show. Dear old Shiz.
University. I mean, it's
cute.
perfect for like when we do any wicked stuff.
Yeah, that's cute merch.
Got a Shiz University jumper, which he will wear and not tell me about.
Oh, I absolutely will. That's absolutely going to happen. Also, the Wicked films are coming out in the winter, so
yeah, so perfect match.
We're like, all of our Wicked stuff is like thin t-shirts. We need to start thinking about warm Wicked clothes.
Yeah.
We are heading up to the Walter Kerr Theatre on 48th Street. Just walking past 6 at the Lena Horne Theatre, and they've redone the doors. I didn't notice this the other day because the doors were open when we went in to see the show. But we've got photos of queens from the show's history, highlighting that it's a global sensation that's played all around the world. We've got a lot of London queens here. We've got Claudia Karaoke there. We've got, I mean, so many people. Amy Bartolomeo. This here, Lexi McIntosh in a silver Cleves outfit before it was red. You can see Lexi at the Hampton Court Palace concert over there in what became the red. Millie O'Connell there in green. Jen Caldwell. So many people. Broadway casts, tour casts, cruise casts, and many of the photos of our good friend Pam, aka Pamela Wraith Photography, who does a fantastic job photographing Six. Look, Amy Atkinson pre-pink hair for Howard. Look at that. Here we are, the Walter Kerr Theatre. You can see a big ad for SeatGeek, the official ticketing partner of Hadestown and also of Drew Jamson Theatres, but they're still in the process of merging with ATG Entertainment, so who knows what the future holds. The Walter Kerr Theatre, possibly the only theatre named for a theatre critic. I'm just saying, I have to support that. Can we need the MickeyJoTheatre. I'm joking, of course, that would be ridiculous. Again, more lingering ad space for Lempicka. It says, her time is now, next to a theatre where the show is no longer playing. Unfortunately, woman no longer is. Woman was, but woman is no more. Because instead, Swept Away, a new musical tale with music by the Avett Brothers, I believe, will be opening this fall at the Longacre. So there you go. This theatre with all of the flowers. It is gorgeous. I love the aesthetic of Hadestown. The one thing that gives me pause, and we're looking at the back of it at the moment, is this big screen up here. It kind of looks like the Times Square Taco Bell. I just feel like it's a little bit Fabulous Las Vegas. Like the colours of the Walter Kerr bit don't go with Hadestown as much as everything else is aesthetic. It's the flashing lights here. It's Christmas at Hadestown all year round. We are here inside the Walter Kerr Theatre. This is the orchestra level, and at the back of the orchestra level we have both the concession stand, which has a couple of specialty cocktails for Hadestown there, as well as the merchandise stand, both of which I've shown you in previous videos. M101 and 102. This is the set, the beautiful Hadestown set, slightly different to the setup in the West End at the Lyric Theatre that we saw not too long ago when it opened in London. Certainly this is a much wider and shorter theatre. Got some grapes on the proscenium arch. I'm running out of things to tell you. I feel bad because I didn't show you the drinks and the merchandise. The drinks I assume are the same as the last time we came to see the show on our very first trip back in March of last year, so you can go check out those vlogs. And the merchandise, I will try and show you. It was full of people actually wanting to buy drinks and merchandise, and we at this current time are not buying either, so I felt bad taking up space, and it's a slightly congested area where they sell them, so I apologise. So in the playbill, as a reminder, get your free playbills when you get shown to your seats. We have a little slip showing some covers for today's performance. Malcolm Armwood will be playing the role of Hermes. Stephanie Mills starts performances tomorrow as the new Hermes. Alex Lugo will be playing one of the Fates, and Casey Dela Cruz joins the cast as a worker. They were showing another worker on the company board outside in the foyer, but this is all the information we have here in the playbill. Also, there is an ad for a Hakuna Sundae that the Hershey store are doing in conjunction with the Lion King. I don't even like Reese's Pieces, but that looks fun. More to the point, we forgot that they often have barcodes for free Hershey's chocolate bars. Now, we get a lot of these playbills when we're in town, and we are not picking up these free Hershey's chocolate bars.
You have to buy something else to get it.
But we did. I mean, we did. You bought one of you bought your giant Reese's thing.
You don't like Hershey's?
I know, maybe I'll like it if it's free. I don't know. We're back in juniors. Who's shocked? I think we're going to do the blueberry tonight, and by we I mean me. But I am also toying with this celebration one that I don't think I've ever had before, and the red velvet cheesecake as well. I'm being pulled in several different directions, like Wednesday and the Addams Family. I think, yeah, we're going to do the blueberry tonight. I have secured the cheesecake, because in what other city in the world, and the answer is probably more than just this one, but where else can you get cheesecake after a musical at 10 p.m. in the evening? Has to be done. Someone just paused on the crosswalk in front of me to turn around to take a photo, and so I was turning, I was like, what are they photographing? And I realized it's just Times Square, which is still an exciting novelty and just means so little to me, like in terms of the place, because I'm so desperately in love with all of the streets around it and the theatre district that actually Times Square itself, aside from being so often the bane of my life, if you've watched my challenge video where I try and walk between every single Broadway theatre in an hour, then you know. We're heading up to go and meet some friends old and new at Haswell Greens, which is a bar we've been to a couple of times. How to Dance in Ohio did their press launch event there multiple trips ago, October of last year. And some of our friends are seeing Cabaret at the Kit Kat Club, which isn't going to get out for probably another hour yet, because it started after ours, and it's a really long show, but it's right across the street from Haswell Greens, so that makes sense. Oh my god, hey everybody! It is a sunny, beautiful, still warm, lovely new day. Guess where I am? Guess where I am? Guess where I am? Did anyone guess where I am? I am in Bryant Park! I'm in Bryant Park in New York which is a smaller park than Central Park. Just you can see the size of it here. But
to 106.7 Light FM's Broadway in Bryant Park.
That's happening today. It's the first Broadway in Bryant Park. That's going to be happening for I think the next 4 Thursday afternoons in a row. We've actually been here for a couple hours already because they have been sound checking, and you can come in from 11 to watch the rehearsals. But now it's approaching 12:30 and it's starting.
So pretty, pretty, pretty and bright. That's right, shake. We so pretty, baby, you look good tonight. We so charming, oh so charming, ooh, so pretty. I'm pretty.
Did you know that only 4 of 41 Broadway theaters are actually located on Broadway? Do you know what they are? I'll tell you.
I do.
The Winter Garden Theater, the Broadway Theater, the Marquis Theater, and the Palace Theater.
Is the Palace?
Are on adjacent avenues.
Do we still count the Palace?
Good, because we got plenty. Up next, the beloved novel Water for Elephants. It comes to thrilling, dazzling life in a unique, spectacle-filled new musical featuring one of the most remarkable ensemble casts ever seen on Broadway.
Yes, after losing what matters most, a young man jumps a moving train unsure of where the road will take him and finds a new home with the extraordinary crew of a traveling circus and a life and love beyond his wildest dreams.
Silver stars in the sky, silver stars in the sky, silver stars in the sky. You can steal them as hard as they try. Squeaky wheels don't get the grease that I don't train on the track. Squeaky wheels don't get the grease, they get sacked. I see us been wild, 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 wild and
After sold-out runs in 13 cities across North America, The Wiz landed back on Broadway. This past spring, after 50 years, they came back. The outstanding company is showing off their belts, riffs, and whistle tones 8 times a week at the Marquis Theater through August 18th, before heading on the second leg of their national tour in February of 2025, so you gotta see it before it goes. I am so proud to present Nichelle Lewis, Melody Abetz, Kyle Ramar Freeman, Avery Wilson, Palenko Jones Jr., and the cast of The Wiz.
you ain't winning, but it's nice to see ya. I'm hoping glad you came. Cause it ain't about losing. No shame, better not make me frown. Cause I just might knock you down. I'm a mean old lion. Won't nobody bring me.
HADESTOWN, the beloved Universal Pictures Amblin Entertainment film, the 2022 Olivier Award-winning Best New Musical, Back to the Future, the musical.
You gotta start somewhere. You gotta start somewhere. You gotta get going or you're never gonna get there. Hey, and once you get moving, you'll find some way somehow. And it might as well be right here, right now. Come on, boy, and when you dance on the bones, try to swagger like Mick Jagger on the Stones. I'm sorry, what Stones? And who's Mick Jagger? Feel the power of love. You feel the power of love.
Did you know that Back to the Future, the musical's DeLorean only moves slightly while turning around? So to create the illusion of speed, they installed an LED wall at the back of the stage and a scrim in the front with the car sandwiched in between, and the projected video along with the lights, sound, and underscoring make it look like the car is truly hurtling from 0 to 88 miles per hour. That's how I drive. For our last show of the day, the 13-time Tony Award nominated new musical Hell's Kitchen.
I'll say it. You don't even know what he's doing to me.
Just so
Oh my god, hey.
Hi.
I shan't lie to you, everyone. It's several hours later. Did we win any lotteries for tomorrow's performances of Broadway and off-Broadway shows?
No.
Not a single one. We did not. But that's fine. We can get in the rush line tomorrow, or check out the Today Tix drops, or go to TKTS, or buy full price tickets, or not see a show. It's we have a world of exciting options. There's nothing we feel like we need to see. We've kind of really ticked off the stuff we did need to see and our biggest priorities for stuff that we wanted to see, so now we're just like
Vibing.
We're just vibing, which is what we've been doing for the past few hours post Broadway and Bryant Park. We sat in we went to Emmy Squared Pizza at the bottom of the Civilian Hotel on 48th Street, which is always nostalgic because it was the first meal we ever had in New York.
When we were really confused by everything and really overwhelmed, and when we were in there and we were like, oh, there's tons of people. Oh, how do we pay? How does this work?
How does food work in America? Yeah, we had the Miranda pizza, which is our fave.
Yes.
Hot honey and...
It's returned. You have to get it. Because you can get gluten-free bases. It's not vegan, vegetarian, but they have those. But the Miranda is like the best.
And it's Detroit-style pizza.
Yeah.
Which is rectangular in 6 slices. It's still a pretty good size for sharing between 2 people. It's very fluffy.
Get like 3 slices each.
Yeah. Yeah. So had a nice time in there, just enjoying the air conditioning as well. And then we've been strolling around, just observing things. Went into the Museum of Broadway gift shop. That's another place you can buy Broadway souvenirs outside of the theatres at which they are sold. And they also have some stuff from previous productions. They still have Lampika t-shirts. They still had some Like It Hot merch and all sorts of things. Yeah, all sorts of things. And we are now behind the Hudson Theatre, where they are currently doing the Get Out for Merrily We Roll Along. The revival, the Tony Award-winning revival that closed amidst enormous box office success last weekend. And is, a new tenant is heading into the Hudson soon. Once Upon a Mattress. Yeah, Once Upon a Mattress transferring from New York City Centre Encores. And the box office for that opens tomorrow morning, and they're doing a whole event, which we might pop along to. You never know, depending on how we feel, because if you can't tell, a little bit sleepy.
Yeah.
We sat in the sun for like 3 hours in Bryant Park, and it melted our brains a little bit. Which is also an explanation as to why I just said it was 3 hours, it was 2. But in terms of Broadway and Bryant Park, had a great time. Get there early if you want to be near the front of that like general, I say general admission. It's free, it's not ticketed, you can just turn up. It is nowhere near as busy as West End Live, even at its highest capacity, which is probably a product of the fact that they separate it over a few weeks. It's not all the shows performing on one day, and also it's in the middle of the day on a Thursday, and people have schools and jobs and obligations. But had a lovely time. Great to see performances from shows that we have enjoyed before, getting to remember like Water for Elephants and Tommy and Hell's Kitchen. Getting to see Donna Vivino performing, because she's the standby for Shoshana Bean in Hell's Kitchen, and she's also a star in her own right, as are all understudies, TBH. But that was fun getting to see her do that material, and then also getting to see shows that we haven't seen on Broadway, like the Broadway production of Back to the Future, as well as The Wiz. So there you go. Enjoyed. Let's interview Aaron James. Aaron, did you have a favourite performance from Broadway and Bryant Park?
The Wiz all sounded just phenomenal.
The Wiz sounded amazing. They understood the assignment. If the assignment was to bring you exciting vocals, The Wiz. Even at the rehearsal sound check, because if you go at 11 you get to watch everything twice basically, because they do like a sound check rehearsal, and they were giving you full out vocals.
It was also fun to hear Donna Vivino's take on It All.
Yeah, I think those, same for me, those were the highlights. Enjoyed very much. I hope you enjoyed watching them. We're going to walk around some other theatres now that have changed. We might go around to the front of the Hudson and also the Belasco and see what they look like, because Broadway is anticipating the arrival of some new shows later this year. Nothing much very soon, other than Once Upon a Mattress, because not a lot of stuff opens in the summer, largely because that's strategically one of the worst times to open in terms of the Tony Awards. Success has been had before for other shows, Hamilton famously, but for the most part they tend to wait until a little later in the year. So it's all pretty quiet at the moment, but not completely quiet, because O'Mary is opening tonight at the theatre that we just walked past, Lyceum. There we go. My brain is sleeping. Okay, so the Belasco is actually looking a little bit interesting at the moment, because it still has the signage for Appropriate, this year's Tony Award-winning revival, starring Sarah Paulson, who also won the Tony. There you go. You can see all the award wins there. Appropriate/appropriate, if you know, you know. So all of the doors here and all of these front of house images all still showing that. However, Appropriate has actually been closed since the end of June, and the light bulbs reflect the theatre's next tenant, the upcoming new musical starring Darren Criss and Helen J. Shen, Maybe Happy Ending. There you go. Similar mixed messaging down the same street, where the Hudson Theatre is simultaneously advertising Merrily We Roll Along, which just recently closed, and Once Upon a Mattress, which begins previews July 31st. Not while we're in town, but we did get to see it at Encores back at the start of this year, so not totally devastating. The doors are very cute though. We have this little stack of mattresses in the middle there, and then these medieval style banners on either side. Have the bedtime of your life. There you go. Look at that. Isn't that cute? And another show, unafraid to use yellow. And speaking of yellow, we have Cola Scola's O'Mary opening tonight at the Lyceum Theatre. It's been in previews and having press performances at the venue already. We saw it on our last trip off-Broadway, further down Manhattan. You're seeing the back of a step and repeat with the show logo on here, and the makings of a red carpet that they are currently getting ready to host and interview and photograph guests on, as well as the cast and creatives of the show. On previous trips I've shown you snippets from carpets from across the street. On my last trip I even showed you carpet footage, because I got to be on the opening night carpet for the Heart of Rock and Roll. On this occasion I think we're a little bit early, so we're going to head elsewhere, but there you go. A Broadway opening night, always exciting. In exciting and only slightly nervous news, I am actually interviewing a Broadway performer backstage in their dressing room at a Broadway show in less than an hour. This is something I was trying to set up for this trip. I've been doing more of these in the UK, and I was like, I would really like to do one on Broadway on one of our New York trips, and so I'm going to be chatting to Hannah Cruz from the cast of Suffs, which we saw on Tuesday night. She's fantastic in the show. She plays Inez Mulholland, and we also saw her earlier this year in The Connector. Lots to talk about, very exciting star on the rise. So while waiting to do the interview, which is about 35 minutes, the very professional decision we reached was to come to Junior's restaurant and actually sit indoors for a Shirley Temple orange soda and to share this enormous banana split. I have no regrets. In the queue for the Notebook. Fun fact, queues both ways out of the theatre because they have two different metal detectors for people to walk through, which is a security feature here on Broadway, but I guess we just couldn't resist the British urge to queue, even though the house still not currently open. So the Schoenfeld Theatre is another one that has one of these downstairs lounge areas, complete with Aaron James's appropriate The Notebook hat. On brand, more so than me, I'm wearing purple for Suffs, and we're not seeing Suffs, but that's okay. We do have a photo op. You can pose with the watercolour Ali and Noah in the iconic pose. The Notebook also has some of my favourite merchandise of this Broadway season and of everything that's currently open. Aaron and I are both in love with this pullover, and we fight over it constantly. If this is love, that's my favourite song in the show. We also have an I Will Carry You Home tote bag, and you can for $35. This we think, either we didn't notice it last time or it might be new. This kind of like a Spirit Jersey style long sleeve tee that says The Notebook. I just wish it was a little less tie-dye. Honestly, I would probably buy it if it wasn't. We have a Notebook for $25. We have the cap that Aaron's wearing. We also have other little trinkets there. They sell tissues ingeniously. They sell friendship bracelets. They have so much merchandise here. Oh my goodness. We have this The Notebook t-shirt. You can get the poster there. We have a different t-shirt that says Ali and Noah. This is the front and back of this $75 hoodie that has the white with that same watercolor design. Let me show you closer up here. We've got that same design on a mug. That same design is on the tissue box, which will set you back $5 and is honestly a smart purchase. The show will make you cry. That little logo is also on an enamel pin. It's on a magnet. It's on the front of the cast recording that you can buy there for $15. This is all the work of Creative Goods, by the way, some of the most brilliant merchandise providers on Broadway. We have an embroidered handkerchief that says inside the sadness there is joy. While I was investigating all of the merchandise, Aaron James was buying beverages. We've gone for two. We normally share one to be frugal because this was north of $80 with tips. But you really wanted to try the...
we have different...
Do you know which is which?
I'll be able to tell when I look. One's that Ali's Choice, one's the Noah's Cola, which also is cute because you get the Ali drink and the Noah drink.
Guess who's having which?
Obviously I'm having the Noah drink.
I'm having the Ali drink. It's the peachy, fruity, and you're doing the bourbon cola.
Bourbon grenadine cola.
The grenadine is interesting.
Yeah, I'm like, that's why I was like, oh, I need to try this one.
Is this the right one?
I have no idea.
Yeah. And these are the seats that we won the opportunity to buy in the lottery. They were, I think, $40 lottery tickets from Telecharge. These are the playbills. Of course, remember to get your playbills from the ushers who show you to your seat. I'm trying to get it in focus. There we go. It's that same artwork. There is no understudy slip in the playbill. Joy Woods was off over the weekend at the start of this week, but seemingly this is full principal cast this evening, which is, you know, happy either way. This is the set design here. There is more to it at the front there that we can't quite see above the front of the circle there, but, you know, put the height of a person standing there, figure out where their head is going to be, and I'm pretty sure we will still see the faces, so it's fine. If we have to lean a bit, we have to lean a bit. But this is the Gerald Schoenfeld Theatre. Now, one of its previous tenants was the musical Come From Away for a few years. If you haven't already heard everything we're doing this week, it all comes back to Come From Away this week, which we just saw in Gander. If you haven't seen that previous vlog, go and check that one out. That's the show that used to be here, but now it's the Notebook. You can see the loose structure of a house. You can see this more naturalistic set down at the bottom. You can see then I can't remember what it is, some sort of body of water. Is it a creek? Is it a river? Is it a lake? Is it the sea? Is it a dock? I think it's a dock, isn't it? Whatever that is down at the bottom. And then these light fixtures here, are they representative of rain? Is it memory? Is it just something sort of ethereal? Who's to say? Who's to say? But we are here in the mezzanine, row B, seats 10 and 12. The legroom is okay. I've experienced worse. I think I had worse yesterday in the orchestra of Hadestown, to be completely honest. So, could be worse. And though we did not know it at the time, that was our last show of this trip. We had a couple more days in Manhattan. We actually booked an evening flight on the Saturday to allow us to do a matinee.
Yeah, we booked it as if we were going to see shows every day, every single slot that we had.
We had 2 more slots, because that was the Thursday night, we had a Friday night, but we spent Friday having a nice dinner on the Upper West Side with some friends. Yeah. And we don't get to spend, we see our friends at and after shows, and we see Ashley a lot because we stay with Ashley, and a lot of our friends weren't in New York this time
not
round.
for our trip this time round.
Because they smartly had escaped the furnace that was Manhattan. My goodness, it was warm.
It was so warm.
But yeah, we did get to spend more time with some friends that we haven't had the chance to see as much, and we just kind of ran out of things that we pressingly
not much
needed to see.
So our big thing was just was to see Cats.
Yeah.
And then to mainly go and see shows that we both love and wanted to see again. So Suffs and the Notebook were at the top of our list, and we managed to see both. So I think we were both kind of, that was our happy points. Then we were like, let's enjoy Manhattan and New York and kind of experience it that we don't get to when we're here for a trip where we're going to see a crazy amount of shows.
Yeah, and in part because of that, like I was saying at the beginning of this trip, this is one of the best New York trips I think we've ever had.
It's very chill.
We've done enough now that we knew all the stuff that we wanted to do, and we got to tick off some things that we've been meaning to for a while. We got to go and do the zoo. We had a lot of great luck, like that rush line experience where we were first in line.
It was nice as well because we got more time in Central Park than I think we've ever had.
Yeah.
Nearly a whole day in there.
Yeah.
And I think it was also really nice post, as you will have seen in the previous vlogs, a lot of flying.
A lot of flying
and
around
kind
Canada.
Of being in new places, which were really cool. Like now we're both going to be itching to go back, but at the same time, it was nice to just be somewhere that we now, over the course of 2 years, well, just over a year really, got so used to being around and
not having to move our suitcases every day.
Yeah, which was very nice.
And not having to get on another flight every 24 hours.
Yeah, it was just nice to kind of relax and to just walk around Manhattan and be like, oh yeah, this is a place that we weirdly now feel extremely like we know, which would have never expected when we first flew.
No, it's wild. It's absolutely wild. As we sit here now, we are a few days away from heading up to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival for a couple of weeks. Non-stop. So those are the next vlogs you're going to see on here. That's going to be at least 2 parts, I think. So stay tuned for those coming in August.
And you'll be hearing a lot of American accents.
Yes, we have lots of friends coming to Edinburgh as well from the US, which is super exciting. Yeah. And then
Fringe.
Yeah, and then later this year we'll probably be going back to New York again. I've done all of these where I'm like, who knows when we will go back at this point.
Well, normally at that point though, we do know and we don't want to say yet.
Yeah,
it's very rare that we don't have a random idea. We normally say it and we're like, who knows when, because we're like, we haven't booked the tip flights yet, so
Yeah.
we can't say it.
Yeah, no,
But-
we have not booked
No.
flights or tickets or anything. We have nothing tethering us to New York at any specific time, but you know and I know that too many exciting things are opening this October and November, and realistically you know that we're going to be back. Like, we went back for Cats for basically one show this trip. You know, with a whole bunch of exciting new shows happening, we're going to be heading back to New York. So make sure you're subscribed with the notifications turned on so you don't miss any updates about that and any other exciting theatre trips we may have between now and the end of this year. Maybe we have something, just a little something planned. Not a huge one, but just a couple of little things.
Maybe there's some fun shows.
Maybe. In the meantime, we have to go and see a show in London, because of course we do. And I hope that you have enjoyed this vlog. Very quickly, favourite show that you saw on this trip? And while you're saying that, I need to add here to apologise. The microphone that I was using throughout this was slowly coming to the end of its life, so there were a handful of little crackly moments, but even more really crackly moments and just absent sound moments that I had to cut. So there was a lot of missing footage. There was a moment after Hadestown where I think it was just us on the street talking about how good Jordan Fisher is in Hadestown. Oh my gosh, like, whoever else is in and out of that cast, if you haven't seen Jordan Fisher, you need to go back and see Jordan Fisher. Best Orpheus I have ever seen. Changes the show completely, sings it in a way like no one else has ever sung it before. Incredible. And not a performance I expected from Jordan Fisher, who I thought was decent in Sweeney Todd. Incredible in Hadestown. My goodness. There were also moments before and after Suffs where I said I was kind of nervous about doing the interview, but then afterwards where I said it went really well and Hannah was so lovely, and then it meant a lot to have your support there as always. And there was one more that we had to get. Oh, there were moments in the intermission of Cats where we were talking about how well the concept works, but I will be doing a review here on my channel, so I will be talking about that at length, don't you worry. What was your favourite show of the trip?
Do you know what? Cats was so much more than I ever expected to be, and the atmosphere was electric. So I kind of feel like it has to be Cats, but seeing Suffs again reminded me just how good that material is.
Yeah.
But I think for surprise and that element, it's going to be Cats.
And I also loved Cats, but I will add to that, because you've said Cats and Suffs, both of which I very much enjoyed. 20-Sided Tavern. Really...
You loved 20-Sided Tavern.
On paper, it made complete sense that I would, but I was still underestimating it in a way. I still didn't really know. I was like, is the D&D fan in me not going to like this? Is the theatre fan in me not going to like it? Is this going to combine well? I loved it. It was great. I would go see it, and it has such repeatability.
Yeah.
I would go see it 10 more times.
Yeah. It's a good one to stay friends with too, because you have that competing against each other if you pick different teams. It's very fun.
Yeah. Had a great time. Feel free to ask us any questions in the comment section down below about like New York and Broadway tips. Let us know any particular videos that you might want to see. I've already reviewed Suffs and The Notebook here on my channel, as well as the Broadway production of Hadestown, but I might do another video about Hadestown where I talk about my favourite performers I've seen over the different times that I've seen it, maybe. I don't know. I had that thought. And stay tuned for a review of Cats and the 20-Sided Tavern coming very soon. Cats will be on here. The 20-Sided Tavern will be over on my Instagram and TikTok pages. You can find those at MickeyJoTheatre. You can find Aaron James
at Aaron James UK.
AERON on Instagram, TikTok, and the app formerly known as Twitter. And I hope that everyone is staying safe and that you have a stagey day. Bye-bye.
For 10 more seconds, I'm MickeyJoTheatre. Oh my god, hey, thanks for watching, have a stagey day. Subscribe!